Hey, what's up, guys? So someone posted the answer to this little old riddle from CA here. It's going to be tailed ones. So let's go ahead and check what's on the inside. Oh shit, Total War Warhammer 2 Skaven campaign intro movie. Let's go ahead and watch this bad boy. Alright, I'm going to press play and just let you guys enjoy.
Deep under the world, they chitter and plan, watching, waiting. When they emerge, it is a nightmare vision. The Skaven, a ravenous horde of verminous ratmen. They gnaw at the roots of the world like an infected wound. They mean to rule over ruins, for such is the will of their god, the great horned rat. Only the island home of the High Elves has remained unscathed. And at its center is the Great Vortex. A swirling maelstrom that siphons chaos from the world. The Skaven covet its vast power with envious, beady red eyes. The twin-tailed comet is oft seen as an omen, but this time its wake has disturbed the winds of magic. In the secret halls of the Under-Empire, the Council of 13 has gathered. A time to scheme of opportunity.
I kill dwarf things in Pillar City. No! Clan wars go to Southlands. Hunt for Warpstone. Moors are puppet minion. Pestilence infest Lastria. Yes. But all Warpstone for Council plan. Come, scribe slave. Work to do. Comet makes elf things weak. Council wants power of the vortex. Just as prophecy demands. So it's true. You read markings on a black pillar. Then you know we must seek find the Screaming One. Find out how to control the vortex. Oh yes, master. But a large tribute of Warpstone will that demon require if we summon him. Return to your assigned clan. Harvest Warpstone. Yes, most precipitous of masters. And flee yourself, your impertinence. Oh, it will be done, your worship.
Wow. So that was really freaking awesome, as is always the case. Let's go back and rewind a little bit through here. There are a couple interesting things. So one, we get to see a couple other lords sprinkled throughout, some more units. And I do have to say, the art style, animation, the parallax effects, plus the animations on top of the static art is simply beautiful. And I do hope that this will carry over to some of the in-game kind of campaign events and whatnot. Because they did say there's going to be this underlying story tied to the Vortex campaign that I hope gets animated in a very real effect like this. I almost prefer this type of presentation as opposed to the in-game rendering of stories. I mean, this is so cool. You can put so much detail into it. And the voice acting is great for the way they did Skaven. And then over here, they start the panning of the Skaven infestation from down here in the jungles. And if we go over to... where was it? I had pulled up the map where there was this big kind of question mark hanging over the head of some of these factions. I mean, it's pretty obvious that we're pivoting here, starting from the bottom down in southern Araby. in this red territory that is at the point of this release, it was unknown, but I mean, all but confirmed that this is going to be one of the 2 Skaven starting positions, one in Southern Airby, and it's going to be pushing up if we go back to this trailer. So very much confirming that. And then they're going to push up. They show the vortex looking very cool, show a little bit of what it might look like to be inside of a Skaven city, again hoping for more views of what CA is going to be doing to shake up the siege battles. Perhaps Skaven will have unique ones considering that they mostly live underground, but then again I'm pretty much thinking that they're just going to do it the same way they do underground Karak, so I don't expect too much. Let's go ahead and pivot forward a little bit. We do get to see the Council of 13, and so this is definitely going to be a mechanic in the game. Internal Skaven diplomacy and treachery will probably play a big part of this. The different clans here, and perhaps this will be a diplomatic menu where you can engage with other clans, and perhaps there's like missions that are issued very much like the Senate. But you can expect that there's going to be a lot of backstabbing. So they do show this. They show, I believe that's the Horned Rat himself. And then they show a couple more of the lords bickering against each other. So Queekhead Tigger on the right, and then some of the other lords that we can see. Here is going to be Skrolk. Talking about Clan Pestilence. So yeah, all of these guys bickering and whatnot. So like I said, part of the diplomacy that we can expect. But then they're talking about Warpstone. And kind of towards the end of this trailer, they talk about gathering Warpstone to unlock a ritual. So that's not only thematically what's going on, but that is a practical gameplay element where CA has told us that, hey, the different factions have different ways of kind of teching up in terms of the ritual. And the vortex mechanic. So basically there's different stages of the ritual, and you can go up in levels to presumably get the top level, which is either to completely secure the vortex or to completely take it down, and different levels will do things to destabilize it and trigger events in the campaign. So what we get from this little trailer is the idea that, hey, it looks like the resource that you're going to be gathering to try and get rituals for Skaven is presumably going to be Warpstone, which fits very well, very nicely. For the other factions, I'm not quite sure. It did seem that for the Lizardmen, they're going to have to power up their cities. Perhaps it's tied to the geomantic web, reclaiming their territories and rebuilding that geomantic web, or perhaps it's things about collecting different ritual sites. And then for the High Elves, again, traveling to different ritual sites. We saw that in the initial trailer, where I believe Teclis and Tyrion were pushing forward to try and go into an area and unlock this old, withered mechanism. In any case, so that's a nice little confirmation of the Skaven mechanic. And then here you get to see one of the lords giving to his Undertaker basically that, hey, he wants him to go out and investigate what it'll take to unlock this ritual. So that is presumably going to be something talking about, hey, when you first start off the clan as Skaven, you're going to be given the task, collect this much Warpstone, and then you'll be able to unlock this ritual. They did talk about resurrecting some sort of demon. I wasn't exactly sure of the full context. But this is a great screenshot here at the end. Population, what is that? 110 million? 11 million rats. So that's a funny little addition there. But yeah, here the Skaven moving out from their city. And again, another cool shot of what a Skaven city might look like. Looking brilliant. And yeah, I just paused there because I was listening to the audio, and they're talking, it's the voice of the guy up top saying, hey, harvest Warpstone. So again, kind of hitting us over the head of what the main driving mechanic is going to be for the Skaven. Yeah, sorry, I'm just listening to what they're talking about. But anyways, that's about it, all we could gather from this cinematic trailer. So this was freaking cool. I love the art style, love the mechanics that they're implementing. And the Council of 13 diplomatic dealings is going to be something that I am quite looking forward to. The backstabbery of the Skaven is going to be very interesting. And what's even more interesting is, if you recall, the High Elves have the ability to spend influence, which is their kind of unique resource to worsen the diplomacy between factions. So as the High Elves, you can pit Skaven against each other by deteriorating their relationships and doing all kinds of cool stuff. So that is going to be an interesting way to perhaps counter the Skaven. But that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely go ahead and try and unlock this for yourself. Again, the code word is tailed. So that's it. See you in the next one. Peace out. And again, a quick reminder to maybe check out the Patreon campaign where we fund documentaries. We're a third of the way to our goals. But if you do decide to support us, the money goes to hiring artists and researchers. And you also get access to my Patreon feed where we reveal kind of the stuff that's underway, the music that we're trying to purchase, ask you questions, and then you get to see exclusive artwork reveals that Robbie McSweeney and the other artists are working on. So for instance, this is going to be for the upcoming video on Alexander the Great's 9 lives, the many times he brushed or escaped death, and this is just one where he was fighting in India and was shot through the chest and almost had like a collapsed lung. So that is what you can expect from the Patreon campaign. So go ahead and check this out and contribute. Every contribution at all levels is very much appreciated. But anyways, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.